Yo, 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 what is up, YouTube? This video here is a response video to my man, the Comic Collector, on YouTube, on Instagram. He made a video, and I want to piggyback off of it because I know how he feels. I know what he's going through, and I just want to give my 2 cents / thoughts. And he made a video, should I sell my comic collection? Basically, I'll leave a link to the video down in the description box below. Go check it out. It's a great video. But he talks about burnout and what to do with a massive collection. I believe he said he has like 15,000 books, which is a staggering amount of comics. Anybody that has over 5-10,000 comics in their personal collection. I'm not talking about people that buy collections and have thousands of books that they're going to sell. I'm talking about people that buy comics that's in their personal collection. They're not going anywhere. They're theirs. They might sell one or two to kind of help fund the hobby, but they're not flippers. They're not, they're not in it to sell the books. They're in it just to have in their collection, which is kind of like what I am. I have, God, I don't even know. I haven't even looked at my CLZ app in months. But I believe I have 27,000 comics in my collection. And I'll just give you a quick pan. And, he talks about getting burnout on collecting comics, having more than one hobby, and being able to collect more than one different thing, like cards and comics, or comics and movies, or comics and books, or comics and whatever, action figures or statues, whatever it is that is your passion. Having more than one hobby, first of all, it's financially it's tough. It's really tough to have more than one hobby and go all in on it. So, but I do have multiple hobbies. My main hobby right now is movie collecting. I'm really into movie collecting. I go out a couple times a week to Goodwill. Not so much Dollar Tree anymore, but Goodwills, thrift stores, pawn shops. I just got back today, and I found like 50 movies. And, I really don't buy comics a lot. I just got this in the mail today. A little bit of a spec book. And I get my weekly books, which is stacked up here, that haven't been put in the CLZ app, and I have a stack here that has not been put in my CLZ app, but I have a massive collection, and frankly, to be honest with you, okay, let me show you some other things here in the backside. On the backside, this is all video games, and, there's comics stacked everywhere. Comics, and that box where Haley's blanket is all movies. I have Living Dead dolls. I have action figures. I have everything. And, I told my wife, I said, it's overwhelming. It is literally overwhelming of the amount of stuff that I have. And she's like, well, just, concentrate on one, maybe two hobbies and get rid of the other ones so you have room. And it makes a lot of sense. She makes a lot of sense. She's not forcing me to get rid of my collection, but it's something that I've thought about. I mean, this is just a staggering amount of comics, and this kind of collection, this size collection. So I know what Tim's going through. He has 15,000 books. If you let up for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, it gets out of control. Literally, stacks of books that need to be put in my CLZ app. All those books there. Okay. These 3 boxes hidden over here, these 2, and that one, and that stack, all need to be filed into my collection somewhere in this room. Okay? I have all these video games. I don't even play video games, to be honest with you. I haven't played video games religiously probably in 20 years. And this is all PS1, PS2 games. And then there is my PS3 games, and I have Xbox 360 games. Here's a little stack here, but they're filed everywhere. I don't even play them anymore, right? So I was going through, and I found Dreamcast games, and I found some that are worth some money. Now, my dilemma is I'm not a seller. You know what I mean? I didn't buy these games to resell in the future. I bought the games because I played them, and I wanted to play them when I bought them. The comics. The comic collection, to be completely honest with you guys, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. I've just lost, and it's going to get a little emotional for me. But ever since Miss Haley passed a year ago, I don't know why, but it just kind of triggered something in my head, and I just really lost the passion to really get back, to really get into my collection. You know what I mean? Like, to dig into it, keep up with it. It's basically taking the wind out of my sails, her passing. And I'm going to be 50 this year, right? Hopefully I live to be 80, 90 years old. Who knows? Okay? But, what Tim was getting at is, he's going to leave it for his kids. I have a daughter. She's not even remotely interested in this stuff at all. So, what it boils in, what he was talking about in his video is what happens to the collection later down the road when we're too old to move these boxes around, or we've just completely lost interest. Where do you even start to get rid of your collection? Because an outsider can come look at my collection and think he's just got a lot of dollar books and shit books, and I'll give you $10,000 for everything. Well, to me, that's almost a slap in the face, because I have 2 Hulk 181s, and together they're almost $10,000. So my collection to me is worth, it's a staggering amount of money, and it would have to be the right amount of money for somebody to offer me to want to get rid of it. But then you get to the point of, do you sell it off in pieces? Do you sell the keys and then sell the bulk of the other stuff to a shop or put it online? And it seems like a lot of work. It's overwhelming. And then when you have a life and a full-time job, it gets to be too much. So, Tim, I know where you're coming from. I feel you. I watched your video 3 times last night just to kind of grasp, and everything you were saying, and everything you said, I 100% agree with you. You do get to a point. Every collector at some point in their collecting life comes to a point where they just need a break. They get into a funk where they're just not feeling their collection. They're just not feeling going out hunting for books. He made a comment last night on his video that, he's digging through boxes and he sees a book that he wants, but then he doesn't pick it up because he knows in his mind all the work that's going to go into scanning it in his app or into whatever, and then putting it into his collection, to the point where the thought of filing that one book away into your collection that could be in a box in the bottom, buried under other boxes, that the thought of putting that book away just deters you from buying the book completely at all. And that's when you're burnt out. You're just burnt out. Tim, what I've done in the past is I've just taken a break from comics, and that's what I've done. So let me go show you guys, this is just, I mean, it's a beautiful collection. I love everything. I have so many completed runs. My X-Men collection, my Wolverine collection, but it gets to a point where it's just too much. It's too much to deal with, to focus on. And then we come down here, and now here's my new sickness, is my DVD and Blu-ray collection. I mean, just look at this collection, guys. It's probably doubled, if not more, over the past few months. I mean, look at that. Now I'm to the point where my movies are double stacked. So there's movies behind and the movies in front. Same for all these. I'm starting to double stack. There's a stack of Goodwill books I need to make, or movies I need to make a video on. But just look at this. My Blu-ray collection. Just show you how much it's grown. My Blu-ray collection, everything fit in this one shelf. Now it's expanded to 3. So these 3 are all Blu-rays. I got stacks of Blu-rays there. Then you come around here, and here's what I picked up today. This is from one day going to 1 Goodwill and 3 pawn shops, and 2 of the pawn shops didn't even have movies. So this is 1 pawn shop and Goodwill. That's just today. Okay? So there's this. And I can understand, and my wife's very understanding, and I love her very much, but I can understand where she's coming from. Here, I open this closet. This is all action figures. I have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 15, and I got more in my closet upstairs. I have 20 tubs of just action figures. These 2 here, these 2 tubs here, these 2 small tubs are all loose figures and little baggies that are together. There's Miss Haley's crate. I don't get rid of anything from Miss Haley. But anyways, these are just my action figures. They take up an entire closet. You know, and her point is, sell your action figures so you can have room for movies. You know, the doubles that you don't want to sell, or the DVDs, you can pack them away in tubs and keep them in this closet. And she's got a great point. And I wouldn't mind selling my action figure collection, but what's it worth to me? And who's going to buy it in bulk? It would, if they don't buy it in bulk, then it's listing 1 action figure at a time and waiting months and weeks for just 1 figure to sell, 2 figures to sell. It would take forever for me to get rid of 20 tubs of action figures. But this is my movie collection, guys. This is how much my movie collection has grown in just about 6-7 months. There's my wife's shelf. I've bought her so many movies. She used to have just 2 shelves of movies. Now she's got all 3, and now they're starting to be double stacked. I find them cheap, and that's what I do. I try not to buy top dollar for movies. I try to pay, $1, $2, $3 max at used. But anyways, guys, this video, I just wanted to give my thoughts. Tim, I feel your pain, and I understand, and it's going to get to the point where I'm just going to say, fuck it, and I'm just going to, ask somebody that I know that has kids, that, I'll keep the action figures that I really want and just give them all my action figures. I've done it before in the past, but then you have the regret of getting rid of stuff. That's why a lot of us, genuine collectors of comics, I'm not talking about scalpers and flippers, I'm talking about people that genuinely collect comics for the love of the hobby, for the love of the runs, for the love of the dollar books, and the run fillers, not just key books. Yes, key books are nice, but there's so much to a story that follows that key and is behind that key that you just bought. There's so much story behind that. And that's for guys like me and Tim and Howler Mouse and Joker 68 and Library of Comics. We love those journos. We love those runs. So for us just to get rid of our collection would mentally devastate most of us. It'd be heartbreaking to get rid of the collection, and that's where we're stuck. And that's what his video is about. Should he sell his collection? If he does, will he regret it? Do you leave it to family members that have no idea what they have when they inherit it, and they sell it for pennies on the pound? Do you know what I mean? And all the hard work that you took into collecting. And that's the hard part, is that we become emotionally attached to our collection to the point where you can't even sell it because you think it's worth more. You know how much stuff I've put on eBay, even just movies, thinking, man, I can't sell this Blu-ray for less than $7, but it's not going to sell, because there's other ones out there cheaper. So I end up hoarding all this shit, and it gets to a point where it's getting to be too much. I mean, look at these movies. I try to watch 1 or 2 movies a day. Some days that doesn't even happen. Some days I don't watch any movies, and I just keep buying, and the collection just keeps building. It's like my comic book collection. And I hate to say it, and I know this is part of our problem with people that have YouTube channels, is that sometimes your collection grows massively just to keep up with the Joneses on YouTube. I'm guilty of that myself. You know, I see people posting hauls every day. I'm like, well, I got to keep up. So I would just order books and books and books and books and books, and every day I'd have 5 or 6 packages coming in, hundreds of comics a week coming in, just so I can make haul videos to keep up with all the other people, because that's all people want to see. They don't want to see collection overviews. They don't want to see what's in the box unless it's a key that you're opening. They don't want to see collection videos. They don't want to see run videos. They want to see key books. And unfortunately, people have gone broke. People have, you know, gone through marital issues over collections. And you got to get to a point where you say enough's enough and I can't do it anymore. I know I've gone on a tangent. I know I've rambled on for 15 minutes. So I feel your pain, brother. I'm with you 100%. If I could, you know, I've always told myself I just want to get rid of my DC books. I'm a Marvel guy. You're a DC guy, so I understand where you know, it's hard. If you're like, if I sell my Superman, then the whole collection just doesn't work. It's like, you know, and I feel you. I know how you feel, man. It's tough. And all I can say is slow down, take a break, and, you know, let it sit for a year or two and see how you feel then. You know, in the meantime, get rid of the stuff you really don't want. Like the action figures, I don't really need the action figures. And I have so many. And I bought a lot of action figures when I was taking a break from comics. And then I got back into comics and I stopped buying action figures. So a lot of these action figures are early. A lot, my Star Wars stuff is 70s and 80s. A lot of my stuff is early 2000s stuff. You know, and then I got back into comics. Then I'm taking a break from comics, and now I'm into movies. And look how my movie collection has gone. It's insane. That is an insane movie collection. It takes up our entire dining room. I mean, we don't even have a dining room. I use it as our movie room. This used to be our dining room. Even though we don't eat in a dining room, me and my wife never have. We just eat on the couch with TV tables, and we watch TV as we eat. So it's not really a big hurt to us. I didn't get rid of a dining room table just for my movie collection. We didn't even have a dining room table in here anyways. This room was just empty. So I'm like, hey, why don't we turn it into movie room? She's like, yeah, that's a great idea. So here we are. So anyways, you know, check out his video. I hope you enjoy my video. You know, I'll probably go back and look at some of his other videos and see if I want to do response videos. I think it's a great idea. If you want to do a response video to this video, by all means do it. Tell us how you feel, how you have gone through changes and what to do, and the dilemma and the struggle in our heads that we go through with our collections. It doesn't have to be comics. It could be anything. It could be movies. It could be action figures. It could be pop figures. It could be anything. Any coins, stamps, whatever it is. Just make videos. Tell us how you feel. And it's the Junkie. Hope this video wasn't too much of a ramble. But I'm out. Peace.